welcome to this morning with a cup of coffee and a positive thought in the morning. Do you talk to yourself? I know I do. I like it. I like to know someone's listening. I'm always assured of an answer. And that's what we're talking about today, self-talk, right? That little voice in your head, or in some cases, a lot of little voices in your head. I don't know about you, but very busy in this here. The chatter in this head goes on and on forever. The constant chatter, running commentary of every occurrence, every emotion, every thought. We all have them, right? The internal dialogue that we hold with ourselves actually frames our reactions to almost everything in life, to our circumstances, to our mood. And one way to have a life of happiness, of hope, of joy, of optimism is to intentionally make sure that self-talk is set to positive, right? Positive thinking and optimism are stress reducers, and they're management tools to help you live the best life possible. And we all know we have a tendency to be the most negative with ourselves, right? We talk to ourselves in ways we would never dream of talking to our friends or our children or someone that we cared about. But yet, to ourselves, we seem to do this. So, a positive outlook, let's just talk about benefits, offers health benefits, right? Including reducing stress. It gives you more vitality. Positive people have a greater life satisfaction, improved immune functions. It can reduce pain. It can lengthen your life. Now, not really sure why there's this correlation of positivity. We read about it all the time that positivity, the right emotions, is the way to go. And maybe not really sure why it helps our health so much, but research suggests that people who have a positive attitude also have excellent mental skills that allow them to solve problems, think effectively, maybe differently, be more efficient in dealing with hardships and challenges. So the correlation might be between your ability to be flexible and solve problems and your positive mood. But the truth is, most of us grow up with a habit of negative self-talk. We can't help ourselves. We hear our parents who are disappointed in us. Our siblings are taunting us. Our teachers are correcting us, right? It's around us all the time. And somehow, excuse me, somehow we're designed to remember the negative reactions over the positive ones, right? We remember the negative interactions as children that made us feel badly about ourselves. And over the years, the culmination of these messages have played over and over and over in our mind, and we believe them. We start to believe them, and they fuel anger and frustration and unhappiness, resentment, right? They fuel those negative emotions, and then we get to the place where it's a habit, and we don't know how to change it. Well, this is just the way I am. These are just the thoughts that come into my head, right? Well, the great news is, as with almost everything I talk about, positive thinking is a skill, right? You have the power to change or to control. Good morning, Debbie. So glad you're here. You have the power to control the thoughts that are running in your mind. Yes, the negative ones come unbidden because that's just the nature of the beast, right? But it's your decision whether you keep them or let them go. You have the power to change it, but requires a little practice. There's that work again, right? It's just you decide to change it, it doesn't change because it's a habit. But like any skill, like any muscle, practice, 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 and you can develop that skill. Now the first step is in just recognizing negative thinking, right? We're either, it kind of falls into a couple categories, right? We're either personalizing and blaming ourselves for everything, or we're magnifying things and focusing only on the negative aspects of a situation. Maybe we blow the negative part of it out of proportion and don't even think about anything positive that came in. We're catastrophizing. My new favorite word. I'm catastrophizing, expecting the world, as you know, to be bad, expecting trouble. And What we look for is what we find, right? And then the fourth one is polarizing. You're seeing the world in black and white, good and bad, no room for understanding, processing, finding common ground, right? So, we're going to be aware of looking out for these things. And like developing any new skill, it takes daily practice. So, if you keep practicing, it can become your normal way of thinking. One of the things you want to think about is, what are your negative traps? We're all such creatures of habits. Pretty soon, if you pay attention, you start noticing that you get angry or you get upset in certain kinds of situations, when people say certain types of things. Maybe it's certain places, work, right? The first thing you have to do is kind of note the patterns, note the repeats. Be aware. And then when you find yourself in that negative feeling, in that negative state, you're like, okay, here I am, I'm doing that negative thing again, right? Check in with your feelings. What are you really feeling? Understand, try to put a name to the feeling that you're feeling. And then how can you reframe your self-talk? I'm just not good at anything. Well, I didn't get it this time, but I'm going to be better next time. Those are the ways that you have your options on the way you look at things, right? Humor. Find humor. If you're really finding yourself down and the self-talk is negative, get you some laughter. Pull up your favorite comedian. Watch some funny cat videos. Call your favorite funny friend. Call me. I'm funny. I'll cheer you up. Laugh, laugh, laugh. It changes the chemicals in our brain, right? It changes the way, it gives us that reset, right? To help us put a stop to that negative thinking and redirect. Surround yourself with positive people, right? We feed off the energy that are around us. If you don't have positive people in your life, go find you some. Make some new friends. Seek out people that inspire you and make you feel good, make you feel accomplished, make you feel like you can do anything. Use positive affirmations. Little sticky notes, right? I keep them on my monitor, on my mirror, in my purse. Here's another thing I do. I use my passwords. My passwords, I don't want to reveal them, but they always say something like abundance abounds, or success for me, or I put a little happy little phrase in different characters and words. Okay, now you know. We're going to go try to figure out my passwords, of course, but if you type something over and over every day, you might as well be typing a little positive message to yourself. So, monitor your outward talk. Sometimes that negative inside spills out into the outside, and it's just a kind of a self-fulfilling cycle, right? It's just negativity all around us. So, monitor it. Is the first thing you do when you walk into work is complain about there's no coffee? Or do you are you grateful for the sunshine and you have a job so you can pay your bills, right? Which one do you express to your coworkers? Are you known as the person who needs to be cheered up? Are you the guy cheering people up? So here's a quick 3-step process to change your direction. It's called SOS. And hold on one second because it's going to take me a minute to get to it. Okay. It's called SOS, and it is here if I can find it. Okay, it's a negative self-talk stopping technique. I'm going to post this in the notes when we're done here. Okay, stop. Stop. First, SOS. Stop. Tell yourself just stop. You have the opportunity to address that thought. For myself, I imagine myself Lady Macbeth. Out, damn thought. Out, I say. I'm going to use this analogy. You would not invite someone into your living room who came in and proceeded to badmouth you and trash your house and destroy your family. You wouldn't entertain that person. You'd show them the front door. You don't have to entertain those negative, destructive thoughts. Show them the front door. Imagine those thoughts leaving your head. Use some kind of energy to cut the cord. Stop. Stop. Now observe what's going on with yourself. How are you feeling? How is it making you feel? Why is it making you feel that way? It's amazing what intuition and insights come to us when we ask the right questions. It's amazing what memories pop in, what knowing fills your body when you just stop, and instead of just kind of floating in those bad emotions, start directing them. Start asking questions. Start understanding. And then shift. Shift your cognitive, emotional, behavioral response by some of the things we're talking about, right? Go laugh with a friend. Go take a walk. Go say something say something positive to a friend. Listen to what you're saying to yourself. Is it positive or negative? Right? Which is it mostly? Challenge your self-talk. Is there evidence for what I'm saying? I'm no good at this. Really? Are you just having a little bit of a momentary dip and you're doing really good, getting better and better and better, and the trend is up, but you had a little dip. Oh, I'm no good at this. Well, you're ignoring all that trend line. You're ignoring all that progress you've made. Reframe it. Instead of, I'll never be able to do this, try, what can I do to help myself do this? Or my favorite, this is from Sesame Street, my favorite word is yet. I can't do this yet. So when you find yourself consumed in negative self-talk, you got to consciously make the switch. It's up to you. You are the only one that can control what's going on. So make the switch. This is the pro tip. This is the secret. Make the switch from thinking about the problem to thinking about the solution. Usually negative self-talk is us just stewing on the problem. What happened, what it did to us, how it made us feel, what that jerk did, what that person didn't say. We can make I've been there, trust me, we can make it. Oh, Debbie, thank you. Anyway, we've all been there, right? We know this. So here's the secret. When we engage, when we start problem solving, when we start thinking of solutions, you engage your prefrontal cortex, and this is where your executive functioning, this is where your decision making, you're going to engage this part of your brain. And when it does this actually changes the chemicals that are going on in your body. Engaging your prefrontal cortex actually starts releasing chemicals that will brighten your mood, make you feel better, and again, start to change that focus from what's wrong to what can I do to make it right. So powerful. You feel better immediately because you're doing something about it. Just making a list, just thinking about possible solutions. You're doing something about it. So in therapy, another avenue that they use is sometimes to identify the original source of the message. There's a message in your head, and maybe that goes back to something someone said to you as a child or in a really vulnerable moment that somehow became part of you. You'll never amount to anything all of a sudden. Living with, you'll never amount to anything, right? So you can counteract this negative or self-diminishing thought by recalling a positive truth to counteract it, right? You'll never amount to anything. Well, I got this done. You have to advocate for yourself. Act as if your friend were being attacked and you had to come to her defense. And you had to come up with an argument about whatever those negative thought sayers are saying, why that's not true. Yesterday we talked about, or Friday I guess, no, it was yesterday, we talked about being your own best friend, right? That you are your best friend, you are your friend for the rest of your life, and if you can't live with yourself, it's a lonely life. Be a friend to yourself, and that means not only not engaging in those negative thoughts, but defending her when you do, right? All right. So let's think. I'll disappoint everyone if I change my mind. I have the power to change my mind. They will understand. This is reframing our thoughts, right? I failed and I embarrassed myself. I'm proud I tried. That took courage. You have the choice of which of these ways are you going to think about yourself. I'm overweight and out of shape. I might as well not bother. I'm capable and strong and I want to be a healthier me. I let everyone on my team down when I didn't score. Sports are team events. We win and lose together. I've never done this before. I'm bad at it. This is a wonderful opportunity for me to learn from others and grow. There's just no way this will work. I'm going to give it all my all to make it work. It's the way you talk to yourself. The way you talk to yourself creates your reality. Or to the quote board now, talk to yourself like someone you love. Exactly what I just said, right? Oh well, we're going to put the glasses on now. Be mindful of your self-talk. It's a conversation with the universe. How about that? Every thought you have with yourself is the energy you're putting out into the universe. It's what you're proclaiming. It's what you're declaring is true. And as we know, the universe gives us whatever we ask for or whatever we focus on. It's not what we say out loud that really determines our lives. It's what we whisper to ourselves that has the most power. Positive self-talk is the key to a successful person. If you can change the voice in your mind, you can do anything. One of my favorites, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. The words you say become the house you live in. All right, and finally, we're going to end, well, I thought we were going to end with a poem. If I can find it. Here it is. All right, so we're going to end with a little excerpt from a poem, The Army of Angels, because I like to end with a poem. So here we go. So here's what you need to know. It comes from ancient wisdoms, that what you think is what you'll be and what you look for is what you'll see. Unfiltered input tends to lean towards the rude and towards the mean. It's easy to allow that poo to build up all inside of you. But just like everything you own, what is reaped is what is sown. Ignore your garden and you'll get weeds, but tend it well and you'll get seeds. And so it is your mind's the same. It's what you plant is what you gain. Guard your spirit from dark despair. It's up to you to fill the air with love and happy news. The beauty is you get to choose what goes in and what you'll keep and what you'll toss to the trash heap. Turn off the news and grab your shoes. Start to make each day infused with love and happy thoughts for all. Throw back your head and stand up tall. That's an excerpt from my book, The Queen of Happiness. And that's our show for today. Sending out a survey later today. I might have already sent it. I'm not really sure how these things work. That is helping me name the show. The choices are Cafe Diem, Seize the Cup, Seize the Day, Brewing Happiness, because that's what we're doing here. We are just taking a little beans of thought and brewing them into a positive thought in the morning to start your day off great. Or Time with Tina. I like a little alliteration. So those are the choices. I'd love your vote. I'd love it if you make a comment. I'd love it if you'd share this on your page. And I'd love it even more if you'd come back tomorrow. So that's our show for today. Make it a happy day.